So hey guys, hello everyone. Welcome to 4Pi Academy classes. This is Ankita Rajput. So today we are going to discuss about laser and we will discuss about the basic concepts behind the laser. So that's why we are going to cover today absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission of radiation because these are the basic things if we are talking about laser. So let's start. So, as you all know, laser is not a word. Laser is not a word, it's an abbreviation, okay? And each letter signifies very important terms. So, it's basically a process in which light amplify using the process of stimulated emission of radiation, okay? So, it's light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, okay? So, this is the reason behind the laser. Stimulated emission is a process, that is the reason behind the laser. And you know that the laser lights are so much powerful that they can zoom miles into the sky, or even they can cut through lumps of metal. So these are the very powerful laser lights. And if we talk about laser devices, so what is a laser device? A laser device is a device which emits light through a process of optical amplification, and this optical amplification is based on the stimulated emission of electromagnetic radiation. So basically this is the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. So let's start with absorption of radiation. Okay, so suppose these are the two energy levels, E1 and E2. So E1 is a ground state energy level and E2 is some excited state energy level. So suppose initially your atom is situated in the ground state, right? And if now a photon of energy h nu is coming towards this atom, and this h nu is actually equal to the energy difference between these two levels, E1 and E2. So in this scenario, this atom will absorb this much energy because this energy is sufficient enough that this atom can jump to the higher energy level E2. So it will absorb this energy and it will jump to the higher energy level E2. Okay, so this is basically absorption of radiation. This is stimulated absorption of radiation because this process is not happening spontaneously. We need to provide some energy, we need to provide some radiation that is equivalent to E1 minus E2. Okay, so your atom, as you know that inside the atoms there are different quantized state, and in same way this atom can stay in different quantized energy state. So this atom will absorb the energy h nu and will jump to the higher energy level, and this h nu is E2 minus E1. So this is the stimulated absorption of radiation. So this was the theory behind the absorption of radiation. So let us also discuss with mathematical aspects. So we can calculate the number of atoms which undergo absorption per unit time, per unit volume from level E1 to E2. Okay, so on which factors this number of atoms will depend? It will depend, first thing, it will depend on the density of atom inside this ground state, right? So suppose the density of atom in ground state is N1, right? Second thing, this number of transition will also depend on this, we can say, radiation. Okay, it will also depend on this radiation. So u nu is this energy density. Okay, so this number of atoms which undergo absorption from level E1 to E2 will be proportional to u nu and N1, and in this case the proportionality constant will be V12, and V12 is basically Einstein coefficient of stimulated emission, stimulated absorption. Okay, so this will be the number of atoms undergoing absorption per unit time, per unit volume from level E1 to E2. Okay, and if you want to calculate the rate at which this stimulated absorption occur, will be del n1 over del t. This is the rate, and this rate will be minus of this term because as time passes the number density in the lower energy state will decreases. Okay, so it will be minus v1 to u nu n1. So this was the theory and some mathematics behind the stimulated absorption of radiation. So let us move to our next topic of today, that is spontaneous emission. Okay, so suppose these are the two energy levels E1 and E2, and here atom is already situated in the excited energy state E2, and after some time, because only for some time this atom can stay in the higher energy state, in excited energy state, and after that time it has to come back to its lower energy state. So after that particular time, the atom will jump to its ground state, and in this way it will emit the photon of energy E1 minus E2. Okay, so this is a spontaneous emission because we are not providing any energy or something. This process is happening spontaneously, so it's spontaneous emission of radiation. So the atom can stay in this excited energy state for a life of 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. Okay, so this is known as excited lifetime, excited energy state lifetime. And after this decay, this atom, when this atom will come back to its lower energy state, it will emit this energy h nu, that is E2 minus E1. So in this case also, the probability that per unit time of spontaneous emission will not depend on incident radiation, because we are not providing the incident radiation, and that probability will be A21. Okay, and this A21 is known as Einstein coefficient of spontaneous emission. Okay, so the number of atoms which undergo spontaneous emission per unit time, per unit volume, will depend on the number density in excited energy state. It will not depend on incident radiation. Okay, because we are not providing any radiation. So proportionality sign will be A21. Proportionality constant will be A21, and A21 is the Einstein coefficient of spontaneous emission, right? And we can also calculate the rate at which spontaneous emission is taking place, and that will be del n2 over del t, and it will be minus A21 n2. Okay, so we can solve this equation because this will give you one more important equation, and you all know how to solve the differential equations. So we can solve this equation, and n2 will be n20 e to the power minus A21t. So this will be the equation. And what is this n2? This is the number density in excited energy state. N20 will be the number density, number of atoms in excited state initially when time is 0. There is no emission. Okay, and this A21 is Einstein coefficient of spontaneous emission, and we can calculate the average lifetime of an atom before decaying spontaneously. So average lifetime of atom will be inversely proportional of this term A21. So TSP will be 1 upon A21. So these equations are very important in case of spontaneous emission of radiation. So let us discuss about the third important term, that is the stimulated emission of radiation, and this is the reason, this process is the reason behind the laser. So these are the two energy levels E1 and E2, and your atom is in excited energy state, and here before decaying spontaneously we are providing energy h nu, that h nu is E2 minus E1, and in this case this atom will interact with this photon. Okay, and in this interaction this atom will lose its little bit energy, and it has to jump back to its ground state energy. So your atom is now in ground state, so it will release the energy h nu, that is E2 minus E1. Okay, so this photon of energy h nu will also emit because it is not absorbed by this atom. So now we are getting the two photons of same energy, so the frequency is increasing. So this is the stimulated emission of radiation, because for this emission we are providing the incident radiation. Okay, so in this case, we can also calculate the number of stimulated emissions per unit time, per unit volume, and this will depend on the number density N2 in the excited energy state, and also on the U nu, energy density of incident radiation. Okay, and proportionality constant will be V21, because here this B is, what is this V? This V is the Einstein coefficient of stimulated emission of radiation, and rate at which this process will occur is del N2 over del T, and that is minus V21 U nu N2. Okay, so this is the stimulated emission of radiation. So now we can also discuss about the relationship between the spontaneous and stimulated emission. So at thermal equilibrium between the atomic system and the radiation, the number of upward transition must be equal to the number of downward transition. Okay, so this is the case, this is the scenario if we are talking about the thermal equilibrium. So all the upward transitions will be equal to the downward transition. So upward transition means we are talking about the number of transitions per unit time, per unit volume. So upward transitions means what? We are talking about the absorption. So in case of absorption, we have written this equation, that is the number of transitions will be V12 U nu N1, and this upward transition will be equal to the total number of downward transitions. So downward transition means what? We are talking about emission. So there are two types of emission. One is spontaneous emission. So in case of spontaneous emission, the number of transitions will be A21, N2. And the second type of emission is stimulated emission. And in this case, number of transitions will be V21, U nu, N2. So this whole term is number of downward transition, and this is equal to the number of upward transition. Okay, so we can solve this equation further, and from this equation we can calculate this U nu, energy density of radiation, and it comes out to be this, and we can further solve. So it comes out to be A21 upon B21, N2 upon N1 N2, B12 upon B21 minus 1. Okay, so we can use Boltzmann law. And Boltzmann law says that the ratio of equilibrium populations of level 1 and 2 at temperature T is this. Okay, so this is a formula of Boltzmann distribution law, and if we have two energy levels 1 and 2, and the density in these levels are N1 and N2, and the energy are correspondingly E1 and E2. So N1 upon N2 will be e to the power E2 minus E1 upon KT. And what is this E2 minus E1? This is h nu. So N1 upon N2 will be e to the power h nu upon KT using Boltzmann distribution law. So N1 upon N2 we can put e to the power h nu upon KT in this equation, and we can further solve this equation. And also one more formula we can use. We can compare it with Planck's radiation law. And what is this Planck radiation law? This is energy density is basically 8 pi h nu cube upon c cube into 1 upon e to the power h nu upon KT minus 1, because these are the modes. These are the modes of vibration, and for each mode the energy corresponds to this. So total energy density will be mode into energy of each oscillator. This is the Planck's distribution radiation law. Okay, so and one more thing we can use, all the these Einstein coefficient of stimulated absorption and stimulated emission are same, means B21 and B12 are same. Okay, so by using these three equations, we can find out the relation between A and B, means Einstein coefficient, and it will be 8 pi h nu cube upon c cube. So this formula is very important if we are discussing about spontaneous emission, spontaneous absorption, and stimulated emission. So we can also see some problems of laser. Okay, and this problem is from NET 2017 exam. So the problem is, if the coefficient of stimulated emission for a particular transition is 2.1 into 10 to the power 19, and the emitted photon is at a wavelength of 3000 angstrom, then the lifetime of the excited state will be. So we have to calculate the lifetime of excited state, right? And what we have, and we have the wavelength, and we have the coefficient of stimulated emission. So we will use this relation between Einstein coefficient. A upon B is 8 pi h nu cube upon c cube, and lifetime tau is what? 1 upon A21. Okay, and using this equation, A21 will be this. So this will be c cube upon 8 pi h nu cube V21. We have the value of lambda, so nu will be c upon lambda, and we have the coefficient of stimulated emission, that is V21. So all these things we have, so we will put all these values and we can find out the value of tau, that is a lifetime of excited state, and it comes out to be 80 nanoseconds. So see, this problem is very simple. Next problem is a two-level system in a thermal environment can decay from excited state by both spontaneous and thermal stimulated emission. So at room temperature, the frequency below which thermal emission dominates over spontaneous emission is nearest to. So we have to find out the frequency below which thermal emission is dominating over spontaneous emission. So here, so at thermal equilibrium, the ratio of number of spontaneous to stimulated emission is this. Okay, so the number of upward transition, that was A21, N2, and the number of downward transitions will be N2, V21, U nu when we are talking about stimulated emission only. So when we will divide these equation, N2 will cancel out. So we will have only A21 upon V21 U nu, and this is basically e to the power h nu upon kt minus 1. Okay, you can figure out this when we were discussing about the relationship between A upon B. So this A21 upon B21 U nu will be e to the power h nu upon kt minus 1, and they are asking that this thermal emission is dominating over spontaneous emission, means this thing should be greater than this thing. So they are asking that A21 upon B21 U nu will be less than 1, because spontaneous emission is less dominating. Okay, so it means this value is smaller and this value is greater, so this ratio should be less than 1. So we will use this relationship. Okay, so put this value here simply. So e to the power h nu upon kt minus 1 should be less than 1. So this e to the power h nu upon kt is basically less than 2. So h nu upon kt should be less than log 2. So we can calculate the value of h upon kt, because all these things are constant and t is also 300 Kelvin. So we will calculate, and this value comes out to be 0.40 into 10 to the power minus 14 second. So h nu upon kt will be less than log 2. So when we will put this equation, we will have that nu is nearly 1.73 into 10 to the power 13 hertz. So nu is nearly 10 to the power 13 hertz. So option A will be the correct option. So we will so we have covered few problems also based on laser, and we have also covered the basic things behind the laser. So hope this will help you, and in case of any query guys, you can comment. So thanks for watching the video. See you in the next video.